10 interesting facts you didn't know about Vladimir Putin. Whether you love him or absolutely hate him, it's hard to deny that Vladimir Putin is a pretty interesting dude. The man who spent the last 2 decades ruling over Russia, for better or worse, has seen quite a lot of ups and downs throughout his life, and some of his past might absolutely shock you. That's why, in this video, we're going through 10 interesting facts about Vladimir Putin that you probably didn't know about. So, without further ado, let's begin! Number 10. He was born very poor. Putin didn't exactly grow up in a super rich household with all the luxuries of life handed to him. In fact, he was born to a family that was ravaged by World War II. Before his first, 2 of his brothers had died. One died in infancy, and another died during the Nazi siege of Leningrad. His grandmother also died in the war, and many members of his family went missing, never to be seen again. This was pretty much the story for every Russian born right after the war. His parents got married in their late teens, and they both worked as factory workers in the Soviet Union. Number 9. He's really good at judo, and even made his own judo DVD. Putin has been practicing judo since the tender age of 11 years old. If Russian propaganda is to be believed, Putin is absolutely amazing at the skill. He reportedly has a black belt, which isn't all that unbelievable considering how tough Soviet conscript training was, but what's even more interesting about his judo abilities is that he actually released an entire DVD dedicated to teaching judo to the Russian people. The DVD is titled, "Let's Learn Judo with Vladimir Putin," even though Putin himself rarely acted as an instructor on the DVD, leaving that job for the Olympic gold medalist Yasuhiro Yamashita and Kosei Inoue. He did show off some of his moves and skills on the DVD. Number 8. He was a member of the KGB. Even though this is a pretty well-known fact at this point, Putin was a master spy before anyone had ever heard his name. He joined the KGB, the Soviet Union's premier spy agency, back in 1975, when he was about 23 years old. It's believed that Putin was recruited by the spy agency because of his fluency in German, which he learned back when he was a student at Leningrad University, and because he was an official, loyal member of the Soviet Communist Party during his time at the KGB. He mainly spied on Western powers in East Germany, which is pretty relevant today. Putin probably knows more about the West and its secrets than any of us could have ever thought. Number 7. He once scared Angela Merkel with his dog. Putin has always had a rocky relationship with former German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Angela Merkel is terrified of dogs, as she was once attacked by one back in 1995. Putin, being a former spy master and knowing the official protocol around meeting Angela Merkel, was probably aware of this. One time, during a meeting with Merkel in 2007, he decided to bring along his massive dog called Coney, apparently in an attempt to have leverage over her in the meeting. Merkel looked like she had just seen a ghost, while Putin was smirking the entire time. He later told German newspapers that he had no idea about Merkel's phobia. Yeah, right. He probably has a list of world leader phobias hidden around somewhere in his office at this point. Number 6. He once shot a whale with a crossbow. Throughout his rule, Russian propagandists have always characterized Putin as an animal lover with lots of pets, such as, the dog that almost gave Merkel a heart attack. But not all animals have had a great experience with Putin in the past. In 2010, back when Putin was also trying to cultivate a strongman image, he decided to go out hunting, but instead of just hunting something like deer, Putin decided he wanted to hunt something much bigger, a whale. So he took out his crossbow and went into the ocean. His first 3 attempts were failures, but Putin wasn't gonna go back without a massive whale kill. Eventually, on his 4th try, Putin managed to kill an entire whale. Number 5. His 23-year rule has been continuous. Putin was first appointed as the Prime Minister of Russia in 1999 by Boris Yeltsin, who let everyone know that he wanted Putin to be his successor. After Yeltsin resigned as the President of Russia later that year, Putin also became the caretaker President of Russia. He was later officially elected as President of Russia in 2000, winning around 52% of the vote. In 2004, his first term as president had ended, and he was re-elected with 71.9% of the vote. The Constitution of Russia prevented him from becoming a president for the third time, so he ran for prime minister in 2008 instead, easily beating his opponents. Eventually, the Constitution was changed, and Putin was allowed to run for president again in 2012. He won with 62% of the vote, and he has been president of Russia ever since. This means that he has consistently been the most powerful man in Russia for over 23 years. Number 4. He probably stole a Super Bowl ring. After the Patriots won the 2005 Super Bowl, Patriots owner Robert Kraft visited Russia to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. When Robert showed his Super Bowl ring off to Vlad, Putin apparently joked that he could probably kill someone with this ring. According to Kraft, Putin later put the ring in his pocket, and the Kremlin bodyguards prevented Kraft from asking for it back. Even though Kraft wanted his ring back, Kremlin officials kept arguing that it was a gift, and eventually, Kraft was pressured by the US government to officially call it a gift as well, for the sake of avoiding a diplomatic incident. Number 3. He loves the Beatles. Back when Putin was named Time magazine's Person of the Year in 2007, he was visited in his home by world-famous photographer Platon. Platon was the man who took the infamous photos of Putin riding a horse shirtless. During the photo shoot, Platon asked him a bunch of different questions, some of which Putin answered. Platon noted Putin's soft side when it came to the Beatles, and asked him whether he was a fan of the band. Despite not initially getting a response, shortly after the shoot had ended, Putin went up to Platon, as terrifying as that might sound, and quietly told him, "I love the Beatles," in English. Number 2. He makes world leaders wait. Putin is kind of a troll when it comes to diplomacy. One of the most famous cases of this was back in 2013, when Putin was on an official visit to the Vatican City. Putin was set to meet the Pope, and as soon as the arrangements were made, Pope Francis kept waiting. 10 minutes passed by, no Putin. Then 30 minutes passed. Calls were made. Sweat was nervously dripped off several heads that day. But still, no Putin. Eventually, after a staggering 50 minutes, Putin eventually met the head of the Catholic Church at the Vatican. Needless to say, the Pope wasn't too happy. Putin actually does this a lot. He once famously made US Secretary of State John Kerry wait 3 hours in Moscow for a meeting once as well. Number 1. He may have faked a bombing in Chechnya to start a war. In 1999, back when Putin had first been appointed as the Prime Minister of Russia, he was getting ready to consolidate power and win public support. From September 4 to September 16, 1999, various bombs went off in apartments all over Russia, killing hundreds. Not long after, Putin launched a massively popular war in Chechnya, which he eventually won. It's now widely believed that Putin may have orchestrated these bombings in order to win support for the war, although nothing is officially confirmed. Even official leaked spy cables from various Western countries paint this picture. And that's a wrap for the 10 interesting facts you probably didn't know about Vladimir Putin. What do you think is the most interesting aspect of Putin's entire career? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell to be notified every time we upload a new video. See you on the next one.